There is a quiet but formidable power possessed by every man who dares to be himself in a world that constantly tries to mold him into something he is not. This is a power that does not need to scream for attention, chase after validation, or beg for approval. It simply is rooted in a deep and unshakable inner certainty. From this core of authenticity comes everything the world claims to reward: true influence, genuine wealth, lasting respect, and profound inner peace. Success built on anything other than authenticity is an illusion. The world may reward you with influence, wealth, and respect for a time, but none of these achievements will last if they are not built on the foundation of your true self. You can't attract the right people or opportunities by pretending to be someone you're not, because that deception creates a fundamental misalignment between who you are and what you seek. You can't lead others effectively if you are following a fabricated image, and you can't win a game that requires you to constantly betray your spirit. True success isn't about imitation, it's about expression. Your authentic voice is the one thing no one else has. It is your unique combination of experience, perspective, and passion. When you stop trying to mimic others and start expressing who you truly are, your success becomes rooted in a genuine and sustainable source. This shift from performance to presence is what allows your achievements to become not just an outcome, but a lasting reflection of your integrity and your purpose. The fundamental reason most men never achieve true, lasting success is a simple, yet profound one. They never become truly themselves. Instead of building a life based on their authentic self, they spend their days curating a carefully constructed image. They adjust their truth and water down their unique vision to fit into the expectations of others, chasing trends and adapting to standards that do not belong to them. This act of constant performance is exhausting and ultimately futile. It creates a deep misalignment between who they are on the inside and who they present to the world. They may achieve a semblance of success, an impressive job, a nice house, the approval of others, but it always feels hollow. They wonder why, despite their accomplishments, they feel disconnected from their own life, emotionally drained and empty. The truth is, you can't build a fulfilling life on a borrowed blueprint. The only path to genuine success is to have the courage to live, lead, and build from the foundation of your authentic self. Let me be clear. Success is not reserved for the most talented or the most connected. These are fragile advantages that can be lost. The true, lasting success is reserved for the man who knows who he is, stands in it fully, and lives from that place without apology. This man becomes a magnet, and his power is not a trick of manipulation, but a law of nature. His strength comes from his unwavering self-knowledge, because he has done the deep work to understand his values, his purpose, and his non-negotiables. His every action is rooted in a profound inner certainty. He stands in his truth fully, which means his words and his deeds are always in alignment. He doesn't need to perform or pretend. He simply is. It is this absolute congruence that makes him magnetic. People are drawn to his energy, which is stable and powerful because it's not being wasted on performance. He attracts the right people, opportunities, and outcomes not by chasing them, but by radiating a conviction so strong that the world can't help but pay attention. His success becomes a natural byproduct of his presence, and his achievements are simply the echo of a man living in complete alignment with who he truly is. Why authenticity is your greatest leverage. Authenticity is not a weakness or a passive personality trait. It is one of the most disciplined attitudes you could develop. In a world of performance, it takes immense courage to live aligned with your truth. It takes strength to walk away from what is popular and pursue what is purposeful. It takes vision to trust that being fully you, especially when it's inconvenient, is the real path to power. Most people suffer not because they are untalented, but because they are untrue. They wear too many masks and bury their calling to avoid being criticized. But the man who buries his truth will eventually bury his potential, because your gift cannot grow in hiding. It must be exposed to the world, spoken, lived, and embodied. Authenticity is your greatest leverage because it cannot be copied. No one else can replicate the combination of your story, your voice, and your perception. When you embrace that uniqueness not as a limitation, but as a weapon, you move into a realm where competition disappears. There is no competition when you are in alignment. There is only amplification. Your energy increases, your clarity sharpens, and your actions become deliberate. You stop leaking energy by trying to be everything to everyone, and you become untouchable in your lane. You cannot fake alignment. The world may not understand what your unique energy is, but it will feel it when it is in the presence of a man who has fully accepted who he is and decided to live from that place daily. The cost of performance. Most men don't fail from a lack of opportunity. They fail because they trade who they are for who they think they need to be. This trade is always too expensive. It costs you your joy, your presence, your clarity, and your peace. Even if you win by external standards, you lose internally, and that is not success. That is a slow death. If you want the kind of success that sustains you, not just fills your bank account, but fuels your soul, you must reverse the formula the world taught you. Stop chasing approval and start approving of yourself. Stop adjusting your light and start turning it up. Stop watering down your vision and start speaking it boldly, because the world does not need another copy. It needs the most powerful, unfiltered version of you. How to build an authentic self. How do you build this authentic self? It starts with a few deliberate practices. 1. Become radically honest with yourself. This is the foundational step of authentic living. It requires you to conduct a ruthless inventory of your life. Look at your core beliefs. Are they truly yours, or did you inherit them from your parents, your culture, or your friends? Examine your choices. Are you pursuing this career, this hobby, or this relationship because it genuinely fulfills you, or because it looks good on paper? By asking yourself, does this reflect who I am, or who I'm trying to impress? You begin to identify the areas where you're living in conflict with your true self. The gap between the life you're living and the life you're meant to live is where all your dissatisfaction and emptiness reside. Closing this gap starts with the courage to see it. 2. Reclaim your voice. Your voice is more than just a way to communicate. It is your primary tool for creation. It's the mechanism through which you articulate your purpose, set your boundaries, and share your unique vision with the world. For too long, you may have been conditioned to silence your truth to avoid conflict or seek approval. This act of self-censorship is a direct betrayal of your spirit. To reclaim your voice, you must start speaking what you believe with precision and courage. Every time you speak your truth, whether in a difficult conversation, a business meeting, or through your creative work, you are not just making a statement. You are actively creating space for your real life to emerge. Your voice is the sound of your authenticity, and it must be heard. 3. Embrace solitude. In a noisy, connected world, solitude is not a punishment. It is a powerful tool for self-discovery. You cannot hear your inner voice when you're constantly surrounded by the opinions and demands of others. The crowd will always push you toward conformity, but solitude gives you the space to remember who you were before the world told you who you should be. Make time to be alone, to reflect, to write, and to simply listen. Let your thoughts and feelings come to the surface without external influence. This practice strengthens your identity, making your inner compass more reliable and your conviction stronger. When your inner voice becomes louder than outside opinion, you become unshakable. 4. Make authenticity your standard. Authenticity is not an occasional act. It must become your lifestyle. Do not wait for a perfect or easy moment to be real. Make it your non-negotiable standard in every area of your life. This means showing up as your true self in your business dealings, your relationships, your creative work, and your leadership. At first, this may feel awkward or even risky, but with consistent practice, it becomes second nature. The more you live in alignment, the more your mind and spirit will crave it. This deliberate choice to live authentically, regardless of external conditions, is the very discipline that builds a truly powerful and fulfilling life. 5. Remove the mask permanently. You cannot be free and fake at the same time. The mask you wear to please others, to fit in, or to protect yourself may bring temporary applause and acceptance, but it comes at the cost of your freedom. The applause is for the character you play, not the person you are, and it will never bring you peace. True peace comes from the integration of your inner and outer worlds. It comes from the unwavering knowledge that you are living your truth. You must make a final decision to remove the mask permanently. Choose freedom over applause, truth over acceptance, and peace over pretense. Only when you stop performing can your real life and real peace begin. The man who lives from his truth refuses to perform. He no longer adjusts his values to match the room. He walks into a room and brings his values with him. That kind of presence is rare, and rare becomes valuable. You become irreplaceable not because you're better, but because you're real. The unshakable power of alignment. Authenticity is not just about personal peace. It is a strategy for success. The world rewards clarity, and the clearer you are about who you are, the faster success finds you. You stop pivoting with every opinion and stop doubting every decision. You move like a man who knows where he's going, not because he's arrogant, but because he's anchored. The battle is not between you and the world. It is between you and the false version of yourself that you have carried for too long. Drop the disguise, end the performance, return to the source of your power, your original, unfiltered, untamed self. You may lose some approval, followers, or opportunities that once seemed valuable, but what you gain will be priceless. Peace, clarity, creative fire, unshakable confidence, and the kind of momentum that only flows when a man walks without friction between who he is and how he moves. Success, in its purest and most profound form, is not the reward for becoming something you're not. It's the natural byproduct of becoming fully yourself. True success isn't about imitating a popular image or chasing someone else's definition of greatness. It's about the courageous act of expressing your unique essence to the world. This is why success is not measured in achievement, but in alignment. Alignment is the state where what you think, what you feel, and what you do are all in harmony with your authentic self. The man who achieves this level of internal congruence has already won the most important battle. He has found integrity, peace, and purpose. Everything else, the fame, the wealth, the recognition, is simply the echo of a life lived in truth. These external rewards are not the goal. They're the inevitable result of a man who is so anchored in his being that the world can't help but respond.